Good morning, dear students. Welcome back. Today we are going to study the second part of The 100 Dresses, written by Eleanor Estes. In the first part, we read how Wanda Petronsky suffers due to continuous bullying in the school. This prevents her from coming to school. Towards the end of the chapter, we come to know about the most awaited result of the drawing competition. Wanda wins the competition by drawing beautiful designs of 100 dresses. This leaves everyone spellbound. The teacher hopes to see her soon in the school. So, that is what we read in the first part. Now, let's know more about the author. Eleanor Estes was an award-winning children's author. She first began writing during her recovery from tuberculosis. When bedridden, she wrote down her own childhood memories as a series of stories for young readers. In 1931, she was awarded the Caroline M. Havens Scholarship for Children's Librarians and used these funds to attend the Pratt Institute. Before her death in 1988, at the age of 82, Mrs. Estes had written 19 books for children as well as one novel for adults. Now, the story continues. The 100 Dresses Part 2 reveals why Wanda had not been coming to school. The Petronsky family decided to move to a big city where no one would care about their unfamiliar name. On hearing the note, Maddy and Peggy got anxious as they realized that they would never get a chance for making amends for all the teasing they had done. Both the girls get relieved only on learning that Wanda liked them and had dedicated one of the 100 dresses, means drawings, to each one of them. The teacher makes the classroom fully attentive before reading out the letter written by Wanda's father, informing them about absence of Wanda and Jack from their school for good. In her words, "Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore, Jake also. Now we move away to big city. No more Hollol Pollock. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jane Petronsky." The Petronsky family decides to settle in a big city so that the children don't suffer from funny pranks played by their classmates. The whole class, along with the teacher, got shocked with the content of the letter sent by Mr. Petronsky. The entire class got tensed and they felt bad about Wanda. Maddy could not concentrate on her studies. She felt that she is coward because she never talked about Wanda. She never discussed Wanda with her friend Peggy and never stopped Peggy from making fun of Wanda. So she used to think about Wanda every time. She wanted to meet Wanda. She made up her mind to go to her house and tell her that she has won the prize. When the school got over, Peggy and Maddy went to Boggins Heights. They wanted to meet Wanda. They wanted to apologize in front of her. Both the girls found her house, but they could not meet her as they had already left the place. Peggy tried to defend her behavior, but Maddy was not satisfied. She tried to give many reasons. On Saturday, both Peggy and Maddy wrote a letter to Wanda telling her she had won the contest. Days passed, but there was no answer from Wanda. They kept waiting for her, but there was no response. But yes, Maddy was hopeful that both of them would definitely get an answer from Wanda. This shows that they actually wanted to apologize. This shows that they actually were feeling sorry for what they did. It was Christmas time when Miss Mason received a letter from Wanda. Wanda had written a letter that the girls could keep those 100 dresses because in her new house she had 100 new ones. In her words, "Dear Miss Mason, how are you and room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones, all lined up in my closet. I would like Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming and her friend Maddy to have this blue one. For Christmas, I miss that school and my new teachers does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda." So she had gifted special drawing to Peggy and Maddy. Maddy found that the face in the drawing looked like her. She went to Peggy's house and saw her drawing too. She made up her mind to go to her house and tell her that she found that the face and head of the drawing looked like their face and head. Peggy consoled herself by saying that Wanda really liked them. Maddy agreed and blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda Petronsky. Now let's look at the theme of the story. It becomes rather difficult for a poor immigrant Wanda to adjust herself in an environment which is not very conducive to her. However, Wanda rises above all these petty considerations. She still loves her previous school and her classmates. She is generous enough to donate her 100 drawings to her classmates. She has no ill feelings towards Peggy, who used to tease her by putting embarrassing questions regarding her dresses. She allows Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress. But Maddy the blue one. In his letter to Miss Mason, Wanda's father clearly mentions how he is forced to move out of the place and get his children admitted in a new school. The message is very clear. Any kind of discrimination does torture those who suffer it silently. Wanda hardly spoke a word. And after reading this chapter, we all know how she suffered, but she never talked about it. Now, let's look at the prominent themes of this chapter. One major theme of this chapter is reconciliation. To assuage her guilt for having stood by while Peggy teased Wanda, Maddy seeks to reconcile with Wanda. Her desire to restore friendly relations sends Maddy into Boggins Heights and eventually to write Wanda a letter. However, these efforts only temporarily silence Maddy's guilt. Without a face-to-face reconciliation, Maddy will never know whether Wanda truly forgives her. Bullying is another theme. that comes out of this chapter, though the author does not use the word, the book's most prominent theme is bullying. Though Peggy is naive in her child's perspective, the 100-dress game she instigates with Wanda is mean-spirited at heart. Because Wanda remains stoic and doesn't react to the schoolyard taunts by crying, Peggy and other girls can tell themselves that their actions are not cruel. In this way, this story captures the nuanced and insidious nature of bullying. Social isolation. Starting with the image of Wanda's empty desk at the back corner of the classroom and ending with the recollected image of Wanda standing alone against the ivy-covered wall, the theme of social isolation pervades the 100 Dresses. The 100 Dresses game that Peggy plays with Wanda is designed to keep Wanda at a distance from the group of popular girls with whom Wanda would like to be friends. Wanda's loner status at school mirrors her polished family's social isolation in Boggins Heights, where the only neighbor mentioned is an old man who lives alone. Several details about Wanda's life signal that she and her family belong to a lower class than most of the students in room 13. She has a polished surname. She wears the same dress every day. Her brother works at the school. Her father's English is undeveloped. She lives in Boggins Heights and she has difficulty reading aloud in class. Wanda's classmates may not realize it, but their desire to tease Wanda likely stems from an inherent bias against Wanda's lower class position. Remorse drives the plot of the 100 Dresses. Maddy's guilt leads her to obsess over how she should have stood up for Wanda and eventually sends her on a quest to reconcile with Wanda. Maddy's remorse is conveyed in the distracting thoughts she has during class, in her fantasies about protecting Wanda, in the trip she takes to Boggins Heights, and in the letter she and Peggy write to Wanda. Knowing that the book is semi-autobiographical, the reader can deduce that the author's remorse was so great that she eventually wrote a book about the incident. So that was all for the chapter The 100 Dresses Part 2. I hope you all understood the chapter well. Do read the text and clear all your doubts whenever you want to clear them. Thank you so much for listening. Take good care of yourself.